Thank you. We now move on to our two case studies. If I could ask you, in the interest again of time, to have 5 minutes for each case study. I'll be quite strict about that so that we have a bit of time for questions, and I propose we break at 12:20. So first of all, Spiro Pollalis, Chairman and CEO of Hellinikon.
Well, thank you very much. Actually, I will be very concise. I have put my alarm here to ring, and at the same time, I understand that I'm meeting your break right now. So let me start very quickly. Let me say that I'm the Chairman and CEO of a public company. The public company is Hellinikon SA, that was set up about a year ago. And as part of the government, I feel I do not have the right to say what should be done, but rather what is being done. And I would like also to say that shortly after we were put together, our shares were transferred to the privatization fund, and as a result, the strategy of the Greek state is to sell the shares of our company. What is my job is to maximize the value of our company, because privatization is fine, but it has to be at the right price and the right terms. So let me start very quickly showing some slides and say that when we start looking at the former Athens airport, we see that it is in a strategic position, equally distanced from London and Doha. And this strategic location is something that we have to take advantage. The second is that at the present time, there is a gap in the urban fabric. And you can see how big the gap is and how strategically located it is to the rest of Athens. It is composed by two parts. One part is the former Hellinikon airport, and the other one is the coast of Agios Kosmas. And it is big. It is so big that we can fit 2 central parks of New York in our site, and we can fit 3 municipalities of Monaco. We have the same size of marina as Monaco and the same coastline. You can see here the superpositions. Our responsibility is great. This asset is unique, and we have to be very, very careful on how we proceed with this asset, which I believe that it is not and should not be part of the memorandum. This is a development project to start the Greek economy. Right now, it is in a state of not good management. Our company is doing 2 things. One is the administration of the site, and the other is plans for the development. On the administration of the site, we take the stand that everybody who is there should pay their rent. And there are many entities, there are 69 entities, 40 for the public sector, 29 from the private sector. The vast majority, there are no contracts at this point. We started looking at what can be done there. I'm very worrying if we go to an investor and say, you take it, you buy the shares, you do whatever you want to do. Because we need to know what can be done, and we need to be able to check and make sure that what is being proposed, it fits, and also it's going to be good and beneficial for the public in Greece. As a result, we started with a model. And this model is not something that we have to abide with, but we start with a model on what can fit there, and we started with what you see here, with the model of a starfish for the park. Everybody talks about the park here in Greece, about the airport, and we started with the park. The park is small, as you can see, it's about less than 1/3 of the site, and then we put it the different usage of the site. At the same time, we looked at historic information, like the maps here, that they show how the streams were coming from the mountains all the way to the sea as we try to restore nature. This led to a very detailed master plan, which I call it not a master plan, but a business plan, because this is linked with financial data, with the cost on how much it's going to cost to build, to sell, what you have to sell, what's going to be the revenue. So we have a very good understanding of what it is possible on this site. And if you look at the 3D, you see that it is very sparsely populated. It's almost empty, because this is what is our understanding that the Greek people want. They want a lot of green and open space. In my opinion, this is a little too empty. And if we analyze what is being done and what we propose there, we propose several things. These are the percentages. You can see the percentages of the different land uses that we propose. Again, I want to say that this is not abiding to the investor, but at least we know what can be done so we can check the investor. Because there is nothing worse than doing a privatization without knowing and having a program of what can be done. And if we look at the spaces, let me stick on these numbers because this is a lot of discussion, especially with the local communities. We have 45% of public open spaces, 25% of private open spaces, 18% buildings footprint, and 12% roads. Now, on the right, you see how this is distributed to paved and unpaved areas. But I'm not going to go there because time is going fast.
One more minute, if you could.
Eventually, we are expecting to have, when this is fully developed, which is between 10, 15, 20 years, about 1.4 million visitors per year, 15,000 permanent jobs, and 40,000 residents. These are based on the square meters that we developed on the area. And this cannot be developed just, it cannot be developed just once. It has to be developed in phases, and the phases is going to be the way we propose it. A first phase which is more for public consumption, like a part of the park, especially the one that connects the metro to the sea, and also some public facilities including cemeteries and trash centers for garbage. And then we continue in the first public-private partnership stage, where we expect to see the further development of the marina, hotels, residences, all from the added value that the park gives, and with the social acceptance of the local communities that they see that we start with the park, or at least we propose with that, and eventually this is going to be the third phase, and it's going to continue like this. So all these detailed plans are ready. We are ready to start. The costs have been estimated. The costs are significant. Actually, as it was said by a previous speaker, we cannot have development without money. So this money has to come from somewhere. We do not have the money as a company. We do not have the money from the state at this point, so we need investors or we need other parts of funding. But we need to add value as we proceed, and this is what we're doing. And eventually, we would like to say that this is a wonderful piece of development. We have a great responsibility how we use it, how we develop it, and we have a great responsibility to our children, but yes, we are ready to do it. And I want to remind you, this is a public company. Thank you.